Bienvenidos and ahoy, welcome back to Adam's Dirty Garden. Today is just a simple, straightforward garden tour video. Been a lot going on out in the garden. Got a bunch of paths mulched, beds prepped, tons more stuff planted. And overall it's looking much cleaner than it usually does because the weeds haven't come up through the mulch yet. So take the opportunity, check it out while it's a clean, dirty garden. Hope you enjoy. Starting off with the Bunny Defense System 1.0 update. These are just some leftover shelves that I decided would get the job done temporarily, and so far they've been working. I have not seen a single bunny in the garden, nor had any bunny damage. So far, success. You'll notice throughout, all my pathways have received a fresh coat of mulch, and I definitely do expect Bermuda grass to pop up through, but that's just part of the joy of dirty gardening. Is I'm never going to win the battle, but I can still put up a good fight. This is the herb spiral. Everything's doing really well. The things that were previously already in the ground have absolutely blown up, but everything in between has taken hold, and I don't think I've lost anything in this area so far, so that's always a success. We've been harvesting off our strawberries. These are those alpine strawberries. So I just harvested those last night. Got those in the house, just picking off of them. They're all delicious. And then the strawberries that I just put in this year, already gotten a handful off of those. So as those get settled, I'll expect the production to kick up quite a bit. And I did have leftover peppers that I just planted throughout. Blue hyssop is looking great. Really, everything's been looking really good. I do still have honeysuckle, so I've decided I'm going to let this bush keep going, but I'm just going to manage it better. There are some areas I need to pull out. The tarragon is blown up. Pomegranate's doing just fine. And this bed is my sunflowers with golden zucchini and green zucchini, all doing really well. And I did put in a butternut squash right there. And then there's marigolds and peppers throughout, just interplanting. Plant as much as I can in each bed. My yarrow pathway. In this area right here is butternut squash, leftover beans, calendula, my raspberries. I do need to eventually pull out this kale that's gone to flower. I'll get to that whenever I get to it. So far it's not suppressing anything, so it's just fine right now. Boysenberries are going to flower. Looks like there might be some fruit on those soon. Nice big beautiful comfrey plant. And then the overall view of the garden. This is the very pretty time of year before it gets insanely hot. Things start trying to die on me. Cucumbers in here with sunflowers and more peppers throughout, and also chamomile. Tomatoes are doing really well. This is the area that I was putting up a battle with the gophers. I still have not killed a gopher in about 2 months, but they haven't been doing any damage. So once they start doing damage again, I'll commence the battling again and hopefully I can catch them. But as long as they're not destroying my vegetables, I really don't mind. That's my beautiful little pollinator area. More tomatoes with butternut squash interplanted with chamomile as well as basil. Another bed of tomatoes and beans. This string is just temporary to get them about maybe another foot higher, and then I'm going to put some wire up to give them a lot more support, but I want to get them nice and tall. So just for temporary support right now. More tomatoes, butternut squash and basils. I think I put in about 36 butternut squash, so I should have more than enough for, you know, the fam. I'll have definitely more than enough. It's my lettuce I've been harvesting, and also kale that came back from last year. And there's peppers interplanted throughout there. Come this way, all the peppers are doing really well. And now that I look, we do have a gopher battle ensuing. So I may put some traps in there. Right now they're just eating the onions, so I don't really care. I'd rather them eat the onions than the peppers. So if they're enjoying that, I'll let it be for now. Might throw some traps out tomorrow. But peppers are finally really looking good. Going to flower. Hopefully start getting some actual fruiting going on here pretty soon. And this is my spicy pepper beds. These two right here. And they're doing all right. They're starting to do better than they were, but still, they're still pretty young. Might hit them with some fertilizers to give them a boost. Let's see. Gopher took out 2 of my tomato plants right here, so I put in some leftover peppers and just to keep the ground planted. And then this is that Swiss chard bed and tomatoes. I just went through, thinned the Swiss chard, but tomatoes are doing fine overall. Another bed of beans and tomatoes. A beautiful fig tree. Hopefully those will be ripening up here within the next few weeks. Another bed of Swiss chard and tomatoes. This bed of tomatoes is not doing as well as the others. It may be that the soil isn't as good, or it could also be that the Swiss chard is robbing nutrients. So I'm just gradually going through, thinning out the Swiss chard. More tomatoes interplanted with lettuce and some chamomile in there. And there's also some carrots that ended up coming up. And then another bed of carrots, eggplants, and habanero pepper. And there's Argos. Butterfly bush. And this is the new area. Peas are doing really well as well. They're delicious. So in this area, I've got, I think, 5 or 6 different types of pumpkins, about 40 something pumpkin plants total. And these red plants here are a red amaranth, which is a grain, and it'll grow maybe about 5 to 6 feet tall. And I mainly planted those just because they're really pretty. And we'll see if I end up doing anything with the actual grains. Give it a shot, but mainly just growing them for the aesthetic value. And through all of these, I did interplant amaranth and basil in most of the beds. And then right here, I've got pumpkins and sweet corn. I've got one more bed right over there of sweet corn and pumpkins. And the last bed of pumpkins and tons of amaranth. So really happy with the way the garden's looking right now. Not just looking, but producing as well. Like my artichokes, I haven't done anything to these things. No watering, nothing, just harvested. All right, well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. Please, if you have any questions, comments, anything to add, please put it in the comment section below. I'm curious to see if there's any kind of anything anybody wants to see in the garden, explanations on anything deeper. Feel free, fire away. Thanks for watching, and stay dirty.